$291 Laredo Bunkhouse by Keystone just came in on trade actually here at HaylettRV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is a single super slide, what you normally refer to as a quad bunk, but technically triple bunk with outside kitchen, 6,500 pound half-ton towable family camper. But when I say family, I don't necessarily mean a dozen kids, but that is exactly what the previous folks had. This is one owner. We sold it to him right here new at Haylett, so I mean we know the history of this thing pretty well. Folks got a dozen kids, literally, like that Steve Martin movie with Bonnie Hunt, Cheaper by the Dozen. They had a dozen kiddos running around this thing. But I tell you what, you hear that and you think, oh man, this thing, it must have just been like, you know, absolute rascals running around this thing. Really? I mean, it's not bad. We got our big pass-through storage up front here, and the kids were raised right. They watched each other. They took care of each other. Now, Laredo is a brand like, you know, we obviously used to carry. Like I said, we were the new selling dealer of this. They were ahead of their time on a lot of things. Stuff that is far more standard and commonplace on like 2017 and the new 2018 models. These guys were doing back in 2012, 13, and 14 when we were carrying them as a matter of happenstance before anybody else had caught on to it. Like, they actually encapsulated their propane tanks with the nose cap here, and it created like almost like a European bullet train design. And our delivery drivers that came in from Laredo would comment a lot of times how they were getting better miles per gallon hauling Laredos. You see, what they did basically, guys, they called it life-sized. That was their cute name for it, but it was basically a lot of fifth wheel stuff that was not normally found in travel trailers. They put into travel trailers way before a lot of guys were doing it. Like a really heavy-duty insulation package, a fifth wheel grade insulation package in a travel trailer. The real bus slam latches with magnetic holdbacks, water docking and cable docking station. Stuff like that just wasn't really found in travel trailers when this was built new in 2014. And you see some of that has made its way through the industry now, but these guys are the reason why. That wrap over fifth wheel style roofline, that's something that we see in our new Cougar X lights that we carry here at HaylettRV. You know, that's kind of the offset to something like this that you might see new on our lot. But there's some neat qualities and aspects going on here. And obviously being pre-owned, you know, the money's going to be right on one of these. Now this is a triple bunk, like I said, with outside kitchen. And this is a full-size outside kitchen. Keystone has since gone primarily to what I call the low-profile outdoor kitchen, but this is when they still had the full one, the full big fridge, the big double cabinets up here, raised panel hardwood doors even outside. Now this one you see that we equipped with both the outside grill as well as the standard swing-out cooktop here. So you can have, you know, main dish and side dishes all going, and that is a real drain, you know, with a real sink. It's not the dog dish that you flip out. Now we're going to go through and we're going to put this thing through a good cleaning cycle. We would want the RV to be clean before we bought it, so we want to do that for you. But I mean, you can see the previous owner, he had it covered in the winter, so the harsh weather wasn't beating on this thing. They did the things that, you know, really need to be done to take care of it. That's the main important part here. Stepping inside, the floor plan isn't necessarily new or earth-shattering. It's just done very well. I don't recall the name of the decor. They always have these cute little fluffy names to them. But this is a full trifold memory foam sleeper sofa. The dinette can fold down into a sofa very easily, and that's a free-floating elliptical base table. So that can also be like a picnic table for you. Now we've got a, you know, arched ceiling in here. It's just shy of 7 foot tall at the apex of that arch, and it really helps it open up for a tall person like me. Just feels more open and airy even without the lights. But in the shower, it allows a big tall person like me to stand in the shower, which is something I really appreciate. All LED lights inside here, which is nice in your main cabin. You do have a couple incandescent little accent lights here and there. The kitchen has a couple things that have proven really popular in today's market, like the L-shaped countertop. It gives you more functional counter space, and it's easier to get to that sink. The refrigerator is also 8 cubic foot. Again, years before a lot of brands were doing that, you were finding that on stuff like this Laredo. Now, a lot of people look over at this and say, oh, yeah, but where's my pantry? It's right over there. So they actually have a 4-door pantry that's nice and wide and easy to get to instead of a small 2-door pantry. Keystone's always actually done a pretty decent job with getting the bathrooms right. They are very good at, you know, the right colors and contrast and appointments right where they need to be. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about a bathroom. I think you guys get the idea. What I do want to point out here, well, actually a lot of things back in this rear private bunk room. So we've got a 50% wider, what I call big kid bunk over here. It's just a bigger mattress as opposed to the two traditional singles. Now there's storage below this bunk over here. There's a large cabinet straight ahead with an entertainment center above, though I don't see where that was ever utilized. I don't see where Mom and Dad put a TV in here. But the storage right here in these drawers in the bunkhouse, I think is absolutely golden. There is no such thing as too much storage, especially for the kids. So to keep their stuff contained instead of tripping out in the living room is always good. And built-in bunk ladder, so you don't have to heave Junior into the upper bunk over here. As we flip around, I've already kind of touched on the sofas and whatnot. Of course, central air and central heat. They use floor ducted heating in these. It gave them the most direct access, least resistance route for their furnace, so their furnace worked more efficiently. Now, you see a lot of brands have big screens and flat screens and stuff like that. Laredo was, again, years ahead of their time. You know, a lot of brands were still doing like 22 to 24 inch TVs, and they came out with these near 40 inch televisions. And this is something else I wanted to point out. All original electronics, actually even that grill, everything that came with this camper is still here. Even all the original owner's manuals and everything. You can see the nice handy little, you know, booklet full of them up here. That's our original stock number right there, and that's our original bundle of owner's manual. So Bluetooth, DVD stereo, flat screen. We do have sliding pocket doors up front, so Mom and Dad have privacy. And another part of that, what was called life-size thing that they were going for, was full 80-inch beds. At the time, a lot of lighter weight RVs were built with the shorter camper queens. And if you look up, you can see that nose cap, how they utilized every inch of that nose cap up there with that recessed headboard to give you a nice little place to you know, put a phone charger. Of course, you do have extra small little side stand over here and everything. All in all, I think it's all right. I mean, this is an extremely popular floor plan. I think this was actually our most popular Laredo travel trailer, and for good reason. Now, if you like something like this, and this used one happens to be sold, or if you want to see if it's available, I do leave you a link down in the video description. It says check for price and availability. You're one click away from checking that, guys. We do publish our pricing. We have everything very, you know, obvious and easily accessible through our dealership. But if you like something like this, but we happen to be sold out, you could look at its cousin, the Passport 2920 BH here at HaylettRV. You could look at a very similar floor plan from Coachman called the Freedom Express 292 BHDS. My point is, if you like this layout, but you want one new or this one's sold, we still have options for you. We have a ton of RVs here at Haylett, so we usually have around 500 give or take at any given point in time. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.